With the new school year starting, divorced parents need to learn how to co-parent to help relieve the stress on their children. I talked with Dr. Paul DePompo, who has tips on co-parenting. Doctor, how are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me back.
Well, listen, this is a very important topic, especially as we start to move into the school year. And maybe, over the break, parents got divorced. And this is a very hard time for everyone, especially when it's coming to co-parenting during the school year. So let's talk about some things that we need to make sure we're watching as we go forward.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a high time for having to organize yourselves with kids' routines, screen time, making decisions on their education, visitation, when the school year starts coming up, medication, or any kind of medical thing. These are the main things that most couples, especially divorced couples, have to discuss and have to be in line on. Because if they don't, it has been proven to impact a kid's esteem and their academic performance and their mental health.
Yeah, as we said, this is a very dear thing to my family because I'm a divorced parent and we co-parent throughout the kids' school year. And it was the best thing that we ever did was actually sit down and not about who's did this, who did that, who needs what. We talked about the kids and what they needed. We put our differences aside. And that's something you're asking parents to do, especially to make sure the well-being of their children during the school, because they already have anxiety about things, don't they?
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of anxiety out there. Parents have anxiety. Especially when you've had a divorce, there's issues that you're dealing with not only with your parenting, but trying to manage the parenting of the other parent, which can get you into a lot of trouble. I think it's good to come from a place of acceptance when you're in this situation, that couples tend to divorce the same way that they were in the relationship. So don't be shocked. Don't be shocked when you're still getting some of the same behavior that reminds you of maybe some of the discomfort that you had in the relationship. It's important to manage that, for the parent. If they feel like that's not, if it's not able to support their child the right way to love both parents, it's important that they look at their own underlying hurt or fear that's still existing and deal with that outside of the parenting.
Yeah. All right, doctor, let's talk about the children on this one, because what I was told, actually from my mother, is that her house is her house, my house are my house. There's rules and different ones, but we need to come together for one rule that we share, especially when it comes to school. So what do you recommend that be? Screen time, activities? What do you think that shared rule should be with both households?
I believe, the impact of screen time, right? And the impact of a routine is so vital on their mood and energy. So number one, I would say screen time. And number two, trying to get the routine similar. So there's not an adjustment when they go from house to house with sleep and their frustration tolerance levels and things of that. But screen time, definitely number one.
So, all right. Conflict resolutions. How do we work on those?
Yeah, that's hard. I mean, the one of the if you're struggling right now with this, Family Wizard has a cool app that has a tone meter on it. So if you're getting a little intense or you're a little passive aggressive or hostile, it could help you pick that up on there. But this is conflict resolution is really an emotional issue, right? If you could really accept each other's differences. Okay, it didn't work in the marriage. That's fine. But the importance of accepting your differences for the sake of your own children's mental health and academic performance is vital. So, I mean, we can go back to good sixth grade conflict resolution of taking turns, trying to find a middle ground, and if you have to have a third party come in and mediate, it doesn't have to be complicated. And when emotions get in the way, that's when we get in trouble.
Yeah. I know we're wrapping up here, and another thing I think is a very important issue I want to ask you about, and that is putting people on the contact list, like the emergency contact list, and who can pick up who. I mean, what do you recommend in that way?
Look, we got to know we got to listen to our children and find out who respects our children, who our children feel safe with, and really be open. So, for example, if your ex's partner is very respectful to your child and there's no real issues there, allow them to be on the pickup list, because our children are part one parent, part the other parent. And it's very important to send that message that we love our kids in their entirety. And there's no way to do that if we pick and choose, who they could be close to and who they can't, given that it's healthy and safe.
Yeah, doctor, I could talk to you all day about this because, again, I just love that Ann and I did a great co-parenting. I will have to say that we were awesome at it. Our kids were great, and I wish more people would show that example. So how can people find out more information about, of course, co-parenting, especially when it comes back to school year and other things?
Absolutely. On Dr. Paul DePompo on Facebook, I listed 20 divorce rules that you should really look into as you get ready to go. So I would recommend going there. You could always go to cbtiofsocal.com. That stands for the Cognitive Behavioral Therapy Institute. I'm happy to email you back. Shoot me an email, ask me some questions. Happy to help.
I like it. Hey, doctor, thank you very much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.